This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That little solo there was me basically doing a little bit of a showcase of a particular type of bending lick, and it's sort of pertinent to the topic of today's video because today is Wednesday, and as you know, on Wednesdays I answer viewers' questions. So before we get into the meat of today's video, I'll just mention that if you have any questions or queries of a guitar or music related nature and you think I'm the chap to answer them, then get in touch. You can see the website address there at the top of the screen and link in the description. Use the contact form there to get in touch, or send me an email, jrguitartuition@gmail.com, or leave a comment below this or any of my other videos. One chap who did get in touch via the website is called Michael, and this was his question.
Hi John, love your channel, great content. I have a question regarding picking technique. Have you any ideas particularly about picking technique during solos? For instance, how you play the Chuck Berry lick, bending the G string while holding a note 2 frets lower on the second string, and developing the speed of the bending on the G string. Cheers, Michael.
So yes, that's sort of Chuck Berry type unison bend lick. There are many variations upon it that appear in solos by everybody from, I guess, Kirk Hammett to Angus Young, and even probably going as far back as T-Bone Walker, which is, I think, probably where Chuck got that kind of lick from. But as I say, there are many variations on it, and you can come up with a whole slew of different soloing ideas, all based off the same basic technique. So here is, here's how I approach it.
Here is the explanation.
Right then, as you can see, we're taking a rather close-up look at what we're going to be talking about here, because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Most of the bending licks in that intro solo were, to my mind, all from the same sort of category of lick. Because if you get the first basic one right, then you can develop it into pretty much all of the others. So let's have a look at that basic lick. It's this Chuck Berry thing like this. So let's look at how you play that. The first thing to do is have a look at what's going on. We're doing this bend here, and then we're playing the same note on the next string like this. Now, this is the first thing that you have to adapt to, okay? Normally when you do a bend, you've got 3 fingers in a row like this. 1, 2, 3, and then you bend the string. Well, if you do it that way, then this finger is going to have to be hopping from this string to this string and back quite a lot. And that's an unnecessary movement. It's inefficient. You don't need to do it. What you need to do is anchor your first finger on this note here, and then do a 2-fingered bend. So let's have a little bit of a look at a 2-fingered bend. You know, it's exactly the same technique, you're just using 2 fingers. So if that's something that's new to you, if you're a bending novice and it takes you every ounce of effort to move the string far enough, even using 3 fingers, then this is a good place to start practicing this. I will just say that what you're doing when you're bending is you're not sitting on top of the string and pulling it up, you're kind of pushing it up from underneath. You kind of imagine, where the south pole of the string would be, you're kind of pushing it up from there, really. Or that's how I visualise it. So we're going to bend this note and then play this note. Now, one thing that's important to mention here is the art of muting, okay? Because what I see a lot of my students getting wrong with this is they'll play a lick that sounds like this, where we're hearing the note come back down again. We don't want that. So take a look at my picking hand and you can see what I'm doing is I'm doing the bend, mute that string with either the pick or the side of your thumb, and then play this note. It's like that mute is happening simultaneously as I'm coming on to play this note here. See, bend, mute, then this note. That's the trick. And then once you know how to do that, you can kind of start making variations on it. So for instance, instead of using this note, we can use this note. It's the next note up that pentatonic box pattern. Like that. So again, 2-finger bend. Still the same muting technique. Like that. Although with this one, you can let the notes ring into each other a little bit. Well, you can with the other one as well. We'll go back and demonstrate that in a moment. Like this. So I'm going to do the bend. And then play that note, and if you kind of play them close enough together, you're going to get a lovely kind of double stop kind of sound. Like that, but notice I'm still putting the mute in. We're not hearing that. There's my phone pinging. We're hearing this. And then as I go back for the bend again, that's when I'm doing the mute. Like that. So I'm always letting the string back to its resting pitch silently. And then, of course, we can take that onto the next pair of strings. We can do a bend from this C note here. Again, that's how you'd normally do it, 3 fingers. But I'm going to keep this finger anchored on the unison note here at the 10th fret. And you will sometimes see people doing this bend like this, where you're still getting 3 fingers and they've got their 4th finger on there, doing that kind of thing. But I just think that when I'm doing a bend, it's this finger that's doing most of the heavy lifting anyway, so that's why I place it at the, right at the front line of the bend, if you like. So here we go again. Same technique, bend, mute, then the unison note. Like that. And then, of course, we can do the same thing as we did earlier by switching the top note up to here. You can go back to the 3-finger bend for this. Again, bend, top note, and then put the mute in. There's the mute. Again, you can see I'm always coming onto the string to mute it as I'm letting the string back to pitch. And then all kinds of variations. Going back to that first one again that we started with. Like this. We'll let those 2 notes run together. Very Jimmy Page. And this one, let these 2 notes ring together. Like that. Classic, many a classic rock lick based on that kind of thing. And another variation I guess you can do is where instead of going like this and playing 1 string, you can play 2 strings. So you can get the Now this one is something that people often have problems with because you need two sort of angles of approach for this. This finger needs to be flat on these two strings to kind of bar them, basically. And that, that is often a difficulty for novice players, because if that finger's flat, these fingers want to be flat as well. So you've got to kind of go flat with that finger and more kind of perpendicular to the neck with these two fingers. But notice the muting technique. Always muting there like that. Or you can let that just kind of come off the string, and if you're muting this string here with the top of this finger, you know, that's not going to cause too many problems. But I would say the best practice is to go and then mute with your thumb or pick on this hand. And then you can again swap the top notes out to these two notes here, and you get that lovely kind of pedal steel sort of effect. And in that case, it is nice to hear the note descend again. But those are the basic kind of licks, really. Those are all, I think, in my mind, they all kind of come from this sort of category of this Chuck Berry lick, and you hopefully have demonstrated that they're all in some way or other, you know, variants on that theme. So now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. So there you have it. As usual, there is a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing the solo, that little explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track for you to play along with. That's all up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description, as I'm sure you know by now. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. As always, a massive, massive thank you to each and every one of you who support me in that, or any of the other ways, which are all downstairs in the description. And that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it entertaining and informative, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and a whole raft of other things. The conversation can and often does go in various different directions. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, basically, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.